Now people are talking about other dragon books. Yeah, I've read Dragon Riders of Pern. The first one. I have the second and the third, but I have to read them.
We found the bangle. That's exactly it. It's misshapen, though. It was decorated so gaudily to distract enemies. My brother must have thrown it at something as he fought. Thank you for retrieving it for me. I'll be the one to wear it proudly from now on. Only hope it'll remind me of a protector. Remind me to be a protector of the people, just like my brother before me. Token of my appreciation. Please take it. Thanks again. Dragons make anything more fantasy. Yeah, but they don't always make it better, which is the problem. It's a very easy crutch.
They're also used often as MacGuffins. But I just watched the most recent of the, 5 Dragonheart movies? And they continue to be sappy and low budget. But I rather enjoyed the most recent one that I saw. Just for the ham. And for the humor. And the acting was actually genuinely good. But it's one of those things where in a movie that features dragons, especially talking dragons, you have to balance their powers and abilities with the human characters so that the human characters don't feel useless. It reminds me of when we're talking about Transformers movies and how we much prefer it when it's just the Transformers and no humans are involved.
Yep.
It's because the humans are either working behind the scenes to work with the MacGuffin or help the Transformers from a distance, or they do the whole like self-sacrifice thing or who knows what, but it's just they always seem tacked on and that they slow the protagonist robots down. And it's like that with dragons, where if the dragons are characters in their own right, if there's a reason for the humans to be around, it's because they have to protect them, or the humans are somehow bonded to the dragon, or I don't know. The humans in and of themselves don't. It's almost as though that they're characterized by the presence of the dragon, and the dragon itself is their secret weapon or the thing that makes them special.
Hmm.
And I think dragons have a kind of universal appeal. They can be colorful and they're powerful. They kind of appeal to the childhood fascination most every kid imaginable has probably had with dinosaurs. To an extent. I mean, you can't think of any more epic mount. They can sometimes use magic. Talk.
I mean, they're kind of the one-size-fits-all fantasy MacGuffin.
Well, and also because what other fantasy creature comes close to them? Because, sure, you can have a unicorn as your...
Yeah, but unicorns are just horny horses.
Hey! If anything, they're the least horny, considering in many versions of the myth they only allow virgins to touch them.
Yeah, there's a reason.
What? No, they're supposed to be pure creatures.
Mm-hmm. Pure lust.
What? No. In any case, like, unicorns are neat. But ultimately, they're fancier horses with perhaps healing powers and some magic. But they can't fly. Now, maybe if you have the ones that are like Pegasus, then sure they can fly, I suppose. But dragons have teeth and claws, and they can be ferocious and elegant. Wait, who's this?
Pororo.
Pororo.
Meh, meh. What Pororo do? One Pororo is extremely not enough to collect. Meh? Our friends may be travel persons? They're great. Pororo have requests that would be perfect for travel persons.
Could you go into more detail?
Pororo come to Bionis Shoulder by flying with certain esteemed person in basket attached to Pteryx. But there was big hole in basket, and vital foodstuff that Pororo bring, it all strewn across land from sky high. Pororo admit, it was a bit careless of own side not to notice sooner, but when boss realized, fly into terrible rage. Was crucial asset for sell-off in darkest hour time of crisis. Oh, Pororo go and pick up back now. Pororo go and pick up back now. What? Is that what just...
Pick back up now.
That maybe that's what the chief was yelling at them.
That was exact order. Stuff that ended up scattered all over Bionis' shoulder is fave of Pororo, so would love to gather up for sure. But Bionis' shoulder also full of terrible monsters wandering about. Pororo forced to reckon with own limitations. So extend ask to friend travel persons. Please would friends mind gathering up Pororo's favorite wherever find? Plural thanks for agreeing. Well then, please come to inform Pororo whenever find more of Pororo's favorite. Pick up all his huge job, so Pororo give rewards for ongoing basis, in proportion to number found.
No problem. Leave it to me.
With Mr. Shulk here, we'll be finishing quick snap.
Only because you've got my back, Nene. Speaking of... Oh. What? Okay. Oh, it's down below. That's the deal. I wonder if the Bionis' Shoulder is the only immediate region in this. Might be. That would explain why it's so short.
Oh. Cassowaries are being mentioned. We saw a cassowary at the Budapest Zoo.
Yeah.
It was huge, and it was sitting down.
Yeah. They're
It was a hot
apparently
day.
huge jerks, too.
Well, the thing is, they have these giant claws on their feet that they use to open up people's stomachs. As a defensive measure. But, you know. Don't they get to be about 7 feet tall?
Spooky all the same.
I would have loved to have seen moas.
Mm-hmm.
Because moas, weren't they about 10 feet tall?
Yeah,
And they lived in Australia, right?
I think so. I wanted to see a giant sloth.
How many times have I told you, you do not go there alone?
But I really needed that material.
Doesn't matter. Why did you disobey me? If something happened to you, we would lose everything.
Tyrea?
Melia!
Huh? Wait a second. You know Melia, big sis?
Tyrea's your big sis.
Right. That explains how you came to the capital just in time to save Teelan's skin.
Sorry.
Sorry for the trouble. Truly. Although I am glad you were there.
Yeah, you really helped me out, Shulk, Miss Melia. And you too, Kino, Nene.
Tyrea, I didn't expect to see you here, helping Teelan with his research.
Yes, well,
Tyrea, she's changed.
Teelan, I'm going outside for a bit to get some air.
Got it. I didn't know you all knew Big Sis Tyrea. How'd you meet each other?
Well, that's because Tyrea and I share an older brother.
Huh? Does that mean you and her are sisters then?
Sisters? No. It's rather more complicated. But sisters we are not.
Well, still, that means you know her from way back. What was she like? I've only known her here, in this place, so I gotta wonder how she was before.
She tried killing us.
She was...
Fond of creepy masks.
She was strong, both in body and in her conviction for doing what she thought was right.
Wow! Pretty much the same as how she is now, then. When it comes to our research, she's even more committed than I am.
So she has not forgotten her mother.
Where did you and Tyrea meet?
It was when she saved me from the Fog King.
On a trip to Alcamoth, like today.
What? No. At the time, everyone was still living there.
Before the Fog King showed up.
Yeah, and then, after we all escaped, I was kind of on my own, so Tyrea brought me here for safety.
One moment. Teelan, was your father not still around?
My father was killed by the Fog King.
Is that so? I'm sorry.
Teelan just like Kino. Brave little pun.
I think I'll get some air too.
Go ahead. I've still got things to ask Teelan, so I'll stay with him.
Good, thank you. Shan't be long.
Miss Melly, Kino go too. Kino, please read room.
Oh.
I wish they changed your outfit.
Tyrea,
Of all the people to meet out here,
how did you...
pure chance. After everything, I wandered aimlessly looking for somewhere to die. Then, at some point, I landed here.
So then, you were here all along?
That's right. And so, when the capital fell here, I thought Mother had finally granted me my boon.
But it was full of Telethia, and survivors cast adrift. Not to mention this Fog King.
Yes, he'd be the one to end it. Or so I thought. Until fate had me save Teelan, and death ceased to be an option.
Your mother, she did not grant you a dying place. She gave you our future by crossing your path with Teelan's.
My helping with Teelan's research is a simple matter of give and take.
If you really believed that, you would not have treated him half so warmly. I can tell that when you look at Teelan, you see family. Even if it was once transactional, his research concerns the future of our race. That fact remains.
The future of the High Entia, huh? And what about you?
Me?
You must have heard. Our brethren in this land are suffering.
Yes.
You are the imperial successor. The crown princess, war or no war? No. Empress now. What will you do about the future of our race?
I have not planned that far ahead. However, I know enough to realize what I must do, right now.
I hope to see it. This future you will build for us. And when I do, I hope I'll be able to accept what I now am.
Empress Melia, so you are ready to lead us after all. It shall be my privilege to clear the stones from your path.
So he's still a loyalist, but what does he mean by clear stones?
And the whole thing about defying a god? Unless that was a different person previously.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Molly, you here?
Did you learn anything from Teelan?
A little. He said that for all the details, we ought to talk to Radzum in Grandel.
Meeting should be no problem. Teelan say he sent word to guard the Grandel ramparts to let friends through.
Before we visit this Radzum, I have something I wish to discuss with you all.
What is matter now?
The High Entia who live here now have lost all hope for the future. I have a duty. As the Imperial successor, I must safeguard their future. This will sound selfish, I know, but will you stand with me?
Of course I will, Melia.
Kino too. And also Nene.
Thank you. It means a lot to me. Right. Off to Grandel we go.
I always really like that theme. It sounds like a string quartet. When you have 2 violins, a viola, and a cello.
Yep.
I mean, sometimes it's different combinations, but that was one of the more common ones.
Okay, I don't think I really want to do much more. Probably should have stopped a while ago.
That's alright. It is getting late.
Yep. I'm just gonna run this direction. Real quick. Fight the bug.
Look at our
Duckling
horde
army.
of- Yep. All the Nopon.
Ready and raring for murder.
How many do we have left at this point?
Not many. Like 4 or
Because
5.
I thought we were getting pretty close to
like
finding out that 1-1 was...
Yeah.
Actually, that begs the question. Depending on which one you find first... Or maybe we would have always come across them in a sequential pattern, but...
Well, sort of. You can break the sequence. So that one with the stake, for example, we weren't supposed to know where he was, but like you can still find him. It's not like it's going to prevent you. But like they were already making illusions that 1-1 was a creepy jerk.
Yep.
The entire time. Let's see. Why do they have chicken wings in their skulls? Because they were like bird creatures for a while.
Yeah, except they were weird insectoid, spirit, ether, gelatinous, shell. I don't know what kind of substance telepathy are made out of creatures. So I don't know how they ended up getting feathered wings. But it doesn't make sense at all to me because we've seen them fly with them before. They very rarely do. But we saw Tyrea fly with hers before, and you could just imagine
It looks
neck snapping.
so dumb.
Imagine if you had to lift your entire body with your head. Ew, no. That's just...
But yeah, so I think we're actually getting... I'm not going to say close to the end of this DLC, but we're getting to the point where we're actually clearing out most of the available content. So like next time we play, unless there's like another region or like a hidden area, I'm sure there will be. And maybe I'll look up like an area list or like how many steps there are to this one. But like from what I know, this is like 10 hours max. And that's probably with completionism. Is that... Oh no, it's not that. It's Confluent Uveza. Uzva.
Also, you have one of those creatures with the weird looking heads. Yep.
Oh yeah. At least he doesn't have a basket hanging off of him. We've got a
2
lot,
of them.
actually.
Oh no, this isn't good.
It's okay, we're slightly better prepared than we have been.
Better use your Nopon abilities.
Yep.
That may have been an instance where they're yelling out attacks.
Probably. I just really don't like hearing... Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that was quick.
Woohoo! I got rid of most of them.
It got rid of everyone but Uzva.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was quick and easy. Damn. I really wish
Who's that over there?
It's one of the favorite things that we're supposed to be collecting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I really wish these would all glom together into one treasure chest.
Just so you don't have to go from one to another, yeah.
Yep.
Aurora's favorite.
I'm really liking this DLC. I really cannot wait, though, for them to make a game that actually uses their full artistic skill again.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, this still looks like an upscaled Wii game, and I am truly 90% certain this was a cut area from the original game. That they were just like, oh yeah, we can reuse this now, but, like, just do a different plot. Because it doesn't make sense to just jam it in. And I can't fault them for that in the slightest, but it is one of those where I'm like...
I mean, I like it because there are these two main plots. There's all the Nopon that are scattered about, and they're serving this chief.
I appreciate that
there's...
as being the main set of side quests. There are still some side quests, but for the most part, it's just the Nopon.
Whoa, what's that land turtle? Seal.
That's, Torta. We've seen them before.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to fight some.
But then also there's... the whole thing with the Hyentia and Tyrea and that weird guy with the perpetual Brock face.
Yep. Can I tell you, that was like actually some serious whiplash when as a kid I realized the characters with the eyes permanently closed weren't just like the friendly dude.
Oh, when they could be the evil ones?
Yeah. That, like, going from, you know, Pokemon... Because it pretty much was Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It was Pokemon to, do you remember Edamon in Digimon?
Oh, yeah.
The original series? How he also always had his eyes closed in the same manner, but he was very clearly evil. I legit thought Edamon was like a nice guy. And was super upset that he didn't turn out to be like a Digimon version of Brock.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and there's a number of anime where sometimes they even pair them with the glasses of evil. Where they have the constant squinty character. And then usually it's when they open their eyes that you can tell that they're a villain. Because... Whoa, wait, what? What's this attack?
Same meteor one that I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
I could do one of the other ones, but this one does a ton of damage to everything.
I love all their cheers. They're so cute.
They are really cute.
And yeah, I call those glasses the glasses of evil because there's always that instance where they push them up on the bridge of their nose and then they glint in the light, or they...
Related, unrelated, we should really go watch the Digimon Adventure Try and then the new Digimon Adventure that they've got coming out right now. Because Try was like the sequel series with all the characters like aged up a bunch. But then they also had, they have like a new one that's kind of like a remake of the original series, but different? Qualified, certified, deified prospector Nona, Nona is name. But what is name? Ahem. It seemed fate ordained us to meet. Laws of space-time converge on single point. For one of Ponspector blood cannot but happen. Time is nigh. After eons of wait, dreams soon come to fruition. Cut down miscreant Thing-a-Majicker 13 must fall. Let this act fan flames of rebellion and upturn world of shambles. Meh? Friends want to know more about the Thing-a-Majicker 13 and why world is in shambles. Now is not time nor place for expositioning. Firstly must make pact with Nonona, and to do so must slay odious fiend that lay beyond. The slayal of one untidy surely lead friends to original proof. Then, only then, may friends begin on path to reaching true lore.
True lore.
Threads of fate lines, please to weave warble winding way.
We want lore.
Shell wants lore.
Lore.
Old Expedition HQ.
Hmm. Is it just a mining spot?
Yep. But these are actually worth going for, because they give you, like, upgrade crystals that actually matter.
Mm-hmm. And are those red dots enemies flying above or below?
Yeah, there's a region up above. That was where we ran into the one that wanted us to clear the platform off on the other side. And then we get there and she's like, alright, all done.
Wait, are there trees in this cavern? Is this even a cavern? Or
Yeah.
no, there's like openings. Oh, that's cool.
It's a bit of both. Definitely a... Yeah, the Forbidden Hushland.
The Hushland.
I just wanted to get to the end of this, seeing as it was another area. And this is the last part of the map that we haven't been to yet. So...
Uh-oh. That's big. Is
That
that the
is
creature
big.
you have to kill? No.
No. I don't know where the Thing-a-Majicker is. I'll go looking at some point. But no, I just kind of wanted to get access to shell, blanket on elbow, please no. Told you not to.
I'm just getting a little sleepy.
Yep, me too.
Might need more chocolate.
There's no...
You ate the last one?
I had the last one.
You had the last chocolate.
I told you I would be wanting to do shorter streams. And didn't want to do, like, Madcap JRPG stuff because they tend to make us go late. And then we did.
Ah, but it's been fun.
Yeah, true. It is fascinating, though.
I always fall asleep at midnight.
No, it's not that. We were, before we started streaming, we were having a talk of numbers and metrics and whatnot, and how, like, certain games are just like, I should probably stay away from them. And this, I don't know. I always feel bad, because it's like, I want to play more JRPGs and, like, story-based games, but every time I do, it's just like, nope. Be way better off just playing sandbox stuff.
I mean, if you think about it, if someone were to stumble across a stream that's in the midst of a game with plot and they didn't see everything prior.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand why. It just sucks from my perspective because it's like, I want to play more of these, but every time I look over, it's like numbers and it's like, ah. Having analytics is super useful and important, but gosh, it is just like...
That
Whoa.
is something.
That's a Dinosaurus. That name sucks. It's literally just dinosaur. How are you not reacting to this? Come on, Shell.
Reacting to what?
Ugh,
Sorry, I read chat for a moment and then I was sleepy. What's going on?
I give up. It's
What's Dinosaurus?
literally this thing.
Yeah, I know. It just looks like a dinosaur.
That's its name. Like, they couldn't have come up with something slightly more interesting for this.
I like the fins on his back. It reminds me of Godzilla. Or a Stegosaurus. Or a colonnade.
Yep. Can I go in here?
Is this another temple or ancient ruin made by the Titans?
Ambiance is actually pretty good. Yep. No, this is a Titan thing. Look at that railing.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking spooky business. And yeah, there it is.
There's what?
Oh.
There's the
I
spines.
wonder if the
and
Fog
stuff.
King is actually like...
A ghost.
Yeah, or like that's where the giants went.
To another dimension?
Yeah, because they all just kind of mystery died off. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And what if they actually just sealed themselves away because they knew Zanza was going to kill them?
Escaped into another dimension or reality? Maybe.
Because if we have this big, giant mine...
Giant mine what?
Well, this is a giant mine.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is the quarry where they got the floating rock material, right?
Maybe?
Because I thought they said that a long time ago they were able to use the floating stone. That it was naturally occurring here.
Let's see. Sorry if this is a dumb question. New to the game. What's the point of fall damage if it heals instantly? So you can't, like, drop down too far. They don't want you, like, leaping to zones that you have no business having access to, which is kind of okay. That's the only heals instantly because of the buffs. Well, no. Like, you heal immediately out of combat, but mainly fall damage is just to prevent you from doing platforming cheese. They don't want people Skyrim horsing around.
Yep. I can't think of any instances in which I've been able to jump over a fence or something.
What, you mean in real life?
No. In games to sequence break things.
Yeah, it usually won't let you. Because invisible walls. There's a couple of games that really let you sequence break. Easiest.
Because you talking about the being able to Skyrim horse up stuff, it does remind me of how technically if someone can just get to another zone, they could start.
Morrowind is probably the best example where you can effectively just like beeline straight for the last boss and fight it. I think you have to do a little bit of a glitch to get the dialogue to trigger, but that's it. What more of those lizard dudes? Kind of surprised we never got proper lore on them.
The lizard guys?
Yeah.
They might have been just one of the sapient races. What do we have? We have the Homs, we have the Nopon, we have the Hyentia, we have the Titan giant people, and then I suppose there's the lizards, and then there's the weird bird shamans.
Oh yeah, the Tirkins. And then there's the hooded guys.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Deputy Seagull. Whatever happened to my moderator Seagull? Last I knew they were starting to work. Which meant they couldn't be around as much. And then they just poofed, and it was sad.
I mean...
Oh, I know people have lives. Like, I'm not gonna ever bemoan the loss of, you know, a long-term... Well, no. I will bemoan the loss of a long-term fan. It's just it will be more of it like... I wonder how their life is going.
Sleepy.
You are too wuss. Talk to me about something. You come up with a topic.
What is your interior aesthetic, since we're just looking at plain stone with creepy spines
You mean,
slithering up the columns?
Like, if I were to have a...
If you were to have a themed something or other. I don't know if it would necessarily be in a game, but if you could make...
We should probably play through Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 at some point, like properly, and finish them. Because Phantasy Star Online 2, or Episode 2 or whatever it is, was it just 2? It was... No, I think it was just called 2, and it was just wrapped into the same thing on the GameCube. But a lot of that game was my aesthetic. My interior and exterior aesthetic, which is a lot of sci-fi runes, but with, like, fantasy overtones. And I'm sure it ain't nearly as pretty nowadays. But, like, back in the day, it was just the most beautiful game. I feel like I should probably play the second one.
I thought there were bugs with it or something.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty buggy and rough, but I don't know. MMOs are hard. Like actual MMOs. The reason why I got into PSO is because it didn't feel like an MMO. It just felt like a co-op game that could be played online.
What were the other offerings? For like games?
What, you mean back in the day? Like for MMOs in that era?
I thought you said it was like for a specific system or service.
PSO was originally put out.
PSO, yeah.
Yeah, it was originally put out on the Dreamcast. And then
that's Phantasy Star Online. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Why? What were you thinking it was?
I was thinking it was some kind of service. Remember, I'm half asleep.
Can you sit up then? Because part of the reason why you're half asleep is because you've got your head down and your eyes closed, and like, go figure you're falling asleep.
I know.
And you also keep rubbing the blanket on my elbow, which is really annoying. Because, like, whatever that abrasion is, just, like, any level of, like, something slightly shifting hurts.
Where is it?
It's, like, right here. Like, right here. Ow. Like, actually poking it does not make it better.
It does. It just looks like
it's
like your flesh.
Yeah,
like
I know.
Not even a brush burn. Maybe it's an invisible brush burn.
Yeah, I hate those. Because it's like, there's not...
Usually you'd only get those on rugs.
Yeah, normally I do too, but for some reason it's on my elbow today. And I think it's just because you were shifting around a lot with that blanket, and so it just made me
the
sensitive.
Blanket's not abrasive.
No, it's not, but it's enough. Michelle, I am like pushed up against this armrest, and you were slowly shifting into me.
I suppose I just want more space to stretch.
Stand up then. Let's stick some cream on it. We actually don't really have lotions in this household.
We do have the aloe gel somewhere, which is supposed to help. Ooh, your feet are ice cold.
And I like it that way.
Oh.
Offsets how warm I am. There we go. Oh, good. We do actually have a warp point here, so I can come back and grab all those gems that I'm probably never going to need.
Ooh, look at this room.
Oh, there's the Thing-a-Majicker.
You mean the device?
I think it's just one of the lizard guys. He's just really small.
Yeah, but the lizards definitely do seem capable of at least crafting armor and weapons and such. But I suppose
they almost look like an offshoot of the Hyantians. Because, like, look at the statue there. That looks closer to their face than to Telethia.
I don't know. I don't think they're related necessarily, but who knows?
Probably not. Ow. Not this again.
Unfortunately, they're probably one of those eternally chaotic evil creatures that you always have to encounter in fantasy media.
Nah, I'm not gonna be able to beat these. Ouch.
Oh.
See any last moment Steam Summer Sale recommendations? Oof. Toughie. Here.
I mean,
That'll
there are
help.
a lot of bundled games.
Yeah. So interesting thing is, I actually
Okay.
don't even know
I
what's
can
on
say,
sale.
Buy Myst.
Yeah,
Buy the Myst series.
Shul loves the Myst
If you
series.
love puzzle games and stuff that's very atmospheric and has beautiful music and is...
The problem is, like,
What?
most of the games that I would recommend aren't on a good sale because they're recent. And most of the things that are on a good sale that I would
Are
recommend
older.
have been on really deep sales for years. So it's like, nothing specific immediately comes to mind.
Myst is my favorite series in all eternity, so get Myst. M-Y-S-T. There are 6 games. But I suppose you can get 7 in the bundle, because I think they separate Myst from real Myst and such.
I want this guy to just be weak as heck. He is not. Far Cry 3 is on... Or Far Cry 3 is $3 on PSN right now. Interesting. Yep.
What are the Far Cry games again?
They're open world first-person shooters set in modern times with like
Oh.
fantasy elements.
Uh,
Usually you're fighting like crazy island gangs and stuff.
oh, yep. Definitely not in my cup of tea. For some reason, I keep getting Far Cry confused with what's the game where it's the guy that's akin to Indiana Jones running around Uncharted?
Yeah.
For some reason, I always think that one's supposed to be named after the other, but no.
Not that I can think of.
Ravager Apalpisia? That's quite the name.
Well, that sucks. I think we're gonna have to come back later for that guy. At least we got the quest done.
You always have issues with those guys.
Those ones specifically hit like trucks. But yeah, the Far Cry games are fun. That was the one with the most recent one with the crazy cults. Like crazy religious cults in Montana?
Oh, yeah. Now, do you have all the Nopon?
No. There's a couple I'm missing. But I think I found all of them, I just have to do their quest.
Oh, that's the stake. So
Yep.
now that you have the stake down, you can grab another one of the guys, wherever he is.
Yeah. Potentially. I think there's going to be another... Whoops.
Whoop.
They did that on purpose.
Oh, what's that? Heart to heart.
We couldn't do it yet.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, Far Cry invented the towers. Yep. I mean, it's pretty classic Ubisoft across the board. I like the idea of the Far Cry games. I just wish they would set them in more fantastical settings. Same thing with most Ubisoft games. Because I would 100% play Assassin's Creed Far Future, Cyberpunk, space, fantasy. I know they've been getting a little bit more fantasy with a lot of their stuff, but like, I want full fantasy with wizards and shit. There's a lot of drugs in Far Cry. Yeah, not really the same. Mikasa saw first wing witness to crime. Tarkin face. Make off with stake. What is big idea, huh? No respect for honest labor. This is reprehensible. Class warfare. Ugh. Too much nerves for Hikasa. Need to take 5. Hikasa have no option but to outsource job to friends. Friends generous. Will hear a request even without paperwork, huh? Friends will bash up Birdbrain Oppressor and reclaim means of surveying. Feathered scab run off in direction of Companion's Cape. Friends pursue post-haste.
Is it down there? Or what did you
That
just
was not
land?
fatal.
Ooh.
How is that not fatal?
Another favorite.
Yeah. Alright. We'll get the rest of these later.